In B2B revenue management, there is a persistent gap between the raw volume of leads marketing generates and the actual deals sales teams close. The symptom of this breakdown is familiar across the industry. Marketing departments report thousands of new leads for the month, while the sales team insists those leads are completely unusable. To understand why this happens, we have to look at what a baseline lead actually is. It is simply a raw data point representing a person or organization that has shown some initial unventfist. On its own, that raw data gives a salesperson almost nothing to work with. The person filling out a website form could be an executive with an urgent problem to solve, or they could just be a university student doing research, or a competitor checking pricing. This creates a mechanical problem. The volume of inbound data is massive, but the time and resources of a human sales team are finite and extremely expensive. Solving this bottleneck means stepping away from viewing it as a communication issue. It has to be treated as a strict data architecture problem. Converting that raw noise into predictable revenue requires engineering rigorous operational checkpoints between marketing and sales. Those checkpoints are built around two specific control nodes, the marketing qualified lead, or MQL, and the sales qualified lead, or SQL. Without these programmatic filters in place, marketing budgets get wasted on irrelevant traffic, sales teams stop trusting the data they receive, and revenue forecasts lose their grounding in reality. The first layer of this architecture is the MQL filter, the exact point where raw data is initially sorted. An MQL is a programmatic hypothesis generated by marketing that a specific lead has crossed a threshold, making it worth human attention. The first variable testing that hypothesis is fit. This measures firmographic alignment, checking if the prospect's job title, company size, and industry match the organization's ideal customer profile. The second variable is engagement. This measures active interest and behavioral intent, checking if the prospect took concrete actions, like attending a specific webinar or downloading a pricing guide. Relying on only one of these variables creates immediate operational hazards. If you qualify a lead based entirely on engagement, sales might spend hours contacting a junior intern who just wanted to read a white paper. The inverse is equally problematic. A lead might have a perfect company profile and an executive job title, but if they are showing absolutely zero buying behavior, reaching out is effectively a cold call. Even when both criteria are met perfectly, an MQL is not a confirmed buyer ready to sign a contract. It is purely a statistical probability. The system has calculated that this specific data point holds enough potential value to justify spending human capital to investigate it. A strictly calibrated MQL filter balances volume with quality, ensuring the sales pipeline is fed without burying the team in unqualified noise. Moving a lead from marketing to sales is the single most vulnerable juncture in the entire B2B revenue funnel. If marketing's only step is triggering an automated alert that tells a rep they have a new lead, sales execution will fail entirely due to a lack of context. To make an MQL actionable, marketing has to deliver a rich data payload alongside the alert, populating the CRM with structured intelligence, like the original campaign source, specific pages visited, and the exact content downloaded. With that context, the salesperson is equipped to open a dialogue directly tied to the prospect's recent actions, rather than relying on a blind, generic pitch. For high-intent MQLs, like those specifically requesting a product demo, the system must enforce a strict speed to lead. Waiting even 24 hours to respond to a direct inquiry drastically increases the statistical likelihood that the prospect has already engaged with a competitor. To prevent these handoff failures, revenue operations teams rely on a service level agreement, or SLA, a binding internal contract between marketing and sales. On the marketing side, the SLA dictates the exact mandatory data fields that must be populated and the minimum lead volume expected before a lead can cross the threshold. On the sales side, the SLA commits the team to a strict time limit for their first outreach attempt the moment an MQL hits their queue. Implementing a rigid SLA removes interdepartmental friction, replacing subjective arguments about lead quality with objective, measurable accountability. Once the handoff is complete, the salesperson initiates direct contact, moving the process to the second critical node. This is where a lead becomes a sales qualified lead, or SQL, a prospect that a human has empirically investigated and accepted as a genuine commercial prospect. The distinction is structural. The MQL was an automated data hypothesis. The SQL relies on human conversation to confirm reality. During this discovery phase, sales teams rely on validation frameworks like BANT, which stands for Budget, Authority, Need, and Timeline. The representative must verify the need and the timeline, confirming that the business actually faces a painful problem and that they have a strict deadline to solve it. They must also verify budget and authority, ensuring the prospect has the allocated funds and the institutional power to authorize the purchase. Perfect alignment on all 4 points isn't always required on the very first call, but the rep must extract enough confirmed evidence to justify a sustained sales effort. Once that evidence is established, the CRM system mechanically converts the validated SQL into a formal sales opportunity. That opportunity record becomes the core unit of tracking, locking in the projected deal value, the current pipeline stage, and the expected close date. Enforcing this rigorous SQL validation prevents reps from filling the system with fake pipeline, which ensures leadership is finally looking at an accurate, predictable revenue forecast. Even with strict filters, the mathematical reality of B2B sales means a significant percentage of MQLs will fail this SQL validation process. When sales rejects an MQL, capturing the specific reason for that rejection generates the most valuable diagnostic data point in the entire pipeline. The rep logs whether the company was too small, whether they lacked budget, or if the contact simply wasn't a decision maker. Operations teams use this feedback loop to recalibrate marketing targeting and actively tighten the scoring algorithms that allowed the bad lead through in the first place. This side-by-side chart demonstrates the value of this strict filtration system. On the left, System A shows a massive top-of-funnel output, generating 300 MQLs, which then shrinks violently to just 40 SQLs. System A generates high volume, but results in a dismal conversion rate because initial qualifying criteria were loose. System B utilizes the continuous feedback loop to maintain calibrated criteria. It produces a smaller initial bar of 80 MQLs, but converts highly efficiently into 60 SQLs. System B produces a mathematically superior pipeline. It prevents the sales team from burning hundreds of hours chasing unqualified noise, resulting in higher actual deal volume. Pushing for maximum top-of-funnel volume actively destroys sales productivity if the intermediate checkpoints are weak. Defined correctly, MQLs and SQLs provide architectural stability needed to scale a business without stalling under the weight of disorganized data.